What's up everybody and welcome to Pretty Combat Animations. So this is a mod that recently reached the top of the Nexus, and basically I just want to show you a little bit of what it does. Basically it's going to be an animation mod. It's going to change a lot of the draw effects for different weapons, as well as a few other things like some sneaking and actually attack animations. It's a pretty cool mod. I guess I'll basically just start by going through all the different weapons it changes. I seem to have a bunch of them in my inventory. So first and foremost, let's check out the dual wield. So as you can see, when you install this mod, well, as you can see, it is different. It almost looks like royal, almost. I'm not sure if that's the right word. But basically, when you actually install this mod, you're going to have a bunch of different options for how you want to change animations specifically. So this happens to be one of the options I changed. Some things have more options than others. Like if I was only using a one-handed weapon, let's say I only wanted to use the Witcher sword, I have a lot of different options as to how I want to draw this sword out, and then of course when it's actually out, whatever, you have different run animations, which is another setting you could change how I want to run with this sword, how I want to sprint with this sword, and even more so how I want to sneak with this sword. So as you can see, as I'm sneaking now, if I actually go into third person, you can check out it's actually kind of cool. You definitely look pretty different, and you have a totally different sneak animation than you would in the vanilla game. And of course, as I was saying before, there's two different types of this. So you have this option that I happen to choose, but there is a totally different option. So basically, you're going to have this kind of for all of these different weapons in the game. Some of them are more extreme than others. So for example, if you take out a great sword here, you can see it actually, the way you hold it is there, and then the way when you run with it, it is totally different. So some of these have that, and then the put back is like that. So that's the one I'm using for this. It's kind of when you take it out, it's gonna like throw it into the air. I actually have a different one, so this is one of them. This was one of the ones that had an alternative, but then on the Warhammer I have the opposite one. So as you can see, when I take out the Warhammer there, it points it into the air. I forget the exact names of this, but one of them was like the Slayer, and the other one had a different name. But regardless, as you can see, this is a good example. So like I could put this Warhammer animation, I could put that on a greatsword, but I chose not to. I chose to only put that on the Warhammer. Kind of hard to explain when you're not looking at the menu, but regardless, I think they look pretty cool. And then when you run, you do hold it low like this. And then, of course, the attack animations are almost all the same. This mod doesn't change that too much. There are mods that do that, but this doesn't happen to be one of them, except for certain things, like some of the longbows and stuff. When you actually are drawing and going to attack, it actually is a bit different. So if I actually go into third person here again, as you can see, this is going to be a little bit different. Probably not super easy to tell when it's not side by side, but regardless, this is going to be a little bit different than the vanilla way you do it. And I'm using an elven longbow from the Elder Scroll, or the Lord of the Rings weapon pack. I forget the exact, I think that's it, the Lord of the Rings weapon pack. And there is also, when you hold your crossbow, that's actually another new one. So as you can see, I'm holding it kind of much lower than you normally would, and this is another way it's kind of changed. As you can see, it's like normally you would kind of have it held down more, but this one you're just kind of holding it there. And again, some of these are more subtle than others, especially like the dual wield one. I think that's one of my favorite ones. So as I take out both of these weapons, you can see it starts to get kind of crazy. Well, I don't know if crazy is the right word, but I just think this is one of the cooler ones, is the actual dual wield again. Unfortunately, we don't have the sheath support. That's a different mod that basically gives you dual sheaths, so I could have a sheath on either side, that being the thing you put your swords back into. But again, that's another one that has a ton of different options. So I think I covered almost everything. So we could actually take out this war axe now, and as you can see, when I do equip the war axe, I am standing in a very certain way. You actually have different animations for when you move. So this is another option. When you move left to right like this, you could choose what you want to do, and then you could choose your kind of idle stance with one-handed. So let's show you that one. But as you can see now, for my one-handed idle, I did choose this. This was one of the options. And I gotta say, it does look pretty cool. And again, you have a bunch of different options. So you can make yourself feel more like a knight. You could feel more like you want to get down and dirty. Like this guy, he looks like he's gonna like chop you up and get a little bit down and dirty when using this. So if I actually deselect this, that's actually another option. So I believe I chose the karate option here, but there's actually unarmed options as well. So as you can see, he's holding his other hand like that, but there's another one where you hold them lower, like in more of a taekwondo stance. But all around, it's just a very cool mod. And again, I think animation mods are just one of those things where it's like it changes. It doesn't have to change a lot for it to be effective, you know what I mean? Because animations are something you're going to be seeing and using so often that mods like this are just so nice because their effects almost, you know, go beyond that. So if I use something like, I could use this greatsword, which is actually very strong, you can actually tell as I take it out right there and sheath it, no, I'd rather die, go to prison. As I take it out like that, it's going to be a little bit different, which is nice because how many times do you think while playing Skyrim you're going to actually do that, which is really nice. Again, there are some other mods out there that go like are good companion mods with this because they'll actually change the way you attack. So like my swinging animations will be changed, and they're really good to use these together. Unfortunately, we don't have those just yet, but regardless, I think you guys get the idea as to what this mod does. I just wanted to show you a little video giving you an example of the way I kitted my character out, and again, it's one of those mods that's probably just spend the 5-10 minutes you know, deciding which way you want all of them to look, and then there you go, your Skyrim's gonna look, at least in my eyes, a lot better. It's gonna pretty much wrap it up for this video. It's probably gonna be a shorter one, but it's a relatively simple mod, but I think it's a mod that deserved its own video just to show you everything it did. And yeah, as always, I thank you guys for watching. I thank you for watching. That's what I just said, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.